And I must thank our former president, Nanado. He gave me a document to sit with Goldfields and negotiate and keep the mine going.
Mr. Ibrahim Mahama, the CEO for Engineers and Planners, are currently on a year Damine Gold Mine CEO because we're taking over from a year Goldfields Damine Gold Mine. Sambeka announcing about news ni mwa yebebo na baso. A DNT ni yebo na baso. Mama yembo na baso. Yebo na baso nonso ni yebo Sami Jemfinso Abaso, the CEO of Goldbod. Mr. Ibrahim Mahama will take you over the Damine Gold Mines no. The first mine waye gold mines no 100% of ni gold unya ye ni nyina wamfa baby a na say ordinary 100% of gold ni nyina ode aba Goldbod or ton amomo onkoton ma foreign company bia onkoton ma any entity private entity bia se Ghana yesi ye hia gold no na sisi a ye nia Ghana for na take over some of the gold mines there any or turn 100% first gold mine in no wenye ni no or turn the ama Goldbod. I think this is in the right direction. I was saying yebo Mr. Ibrahim Mahama Abaso. Na Sami Jemfi, the CEO of Ghana Goldbod, Odin Simpi Atuja. In a bid to support foreign reserves accumulation, Mr. Ibrahim Mahama's Damine Gold Mine Limited has sold 100% of its first gold output to the Ghana Goldbod. The Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Goldbod, Sami Jemfi Esquire, received a team from Damine Gold Mine, led by Mr. Ibrahim Mahama at the Goldbod Azay Laboratory in Accra earlier today, where he briefed the media about a historic transaction. Of course, this is very historic. Now, moving on to the last paragraph of his statement, I'll say the first output of the Damine Gold Mine delivered to the Goldbod today is about 110 kilograms. Wow, this is interesting. 110 kilograms of gold. Wow. The gold will be assayed, valued, and purchased by the Goldbod for and on behalf of the Bank of Ghana, refined and added to the central bank's gold holdings. Wow, this is very interesting. I was here about Mabaso. This particular 100% gold miner, a free air Damine Gold Mine Limited, or Ede Bano. Sami Jemfi say, Omo de Bekwa Kweshe de, refining, refining here 110 kilograms of gold, no. Reserves. And I think my reserves no so nimpa. This is a good news. Yentie Sami Jemfi nensema odituja abra or receive the leadership of a Damine Gold Mine
in the history of our country. You know, Ghana is a blessed nation, and one of the things we've been blessed with by God is our gold resources. Unfortunately, we all agree that we've not been able to optimize benefits as a country from this precious mineral we've been endowed with by God. And one of the reasons why that is so is because we as a country have not assumed the commanding highs over the exploitation of that important mineral. And that is why President Mahama, in the run-up to the 2024 election, promised a reset of the minerals and mining sector of Ghana. And you've seen us, those of us that have been given the privilege to implement this vision in the minerals and mining sector, champion this vision of the president from channeling our gold output through official channels to ensure total FX repatriation, value addition, traceability, and so on. But one of the things lacking has to do with value retention from large-scale gold outputs. If you look at last year, 2025, there is a very worrying contrast between what ASM Gold did for Ghana vis-a-vis what large-scale gold did for Ghana. ASM Gold gave us about 104 metric tons of gold, worth about $10 billion. And we are proud to say that due to the visionary leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, through the introduction of the Goldbod, we're able to repatriate all this $10 billion ASM Gold gave us back into the economy, leading to the appreciation of the Ghana cedi by 40% and the economic benefits we are all enjoying as a people. But in sharp contrast to that, the large-scale mining companies in the country only sold just about 10% of their output, just about 10 tons of the almost 100 metric tons of gold they produce in 2025. If you add the physical gold stocks they sold to the country through the Bank of Ghana to the foreign exchange they repatriated back, you will not get more than 20%. So even though large-scale gold output for 2025 was almost $10 billion, in terms of real returns, FX repatriation, we got less than 20%. Why is that so? That is so because most of the large-scale mining companies we have are multinationals. And the agreements they've signed with the Republic allows them to retain, in some cases, 100% of the proceeds of their gold sales outside Ghana. In some cases, 80% retention, 90% retention. So what comes back into the economy is very little. But today we are seeing a change, the beginning of the change of that narrative. Not too long ago, we had Ghanaians, our own Mr. Ibrahim Mahama and his engineers and planners company take over the Damai mine, what is today known as the Damai Gold Mine. And we are happy to inform you that their first output, which is about 3,000 ounces, the company has decided to sell 100% of that output to the Republic of Ghana through the Goldbod. This is also a vindication for those of us who made all manner of mischief about the legitimate acquisition of this Damai mine by EMP. I mean, this is your vindication right here. We've never seen anything like this on the part of any major large-scale mining company. And that is not to spite them. Of course, they are not Ghanaians, so you know they don't need a Ghana cedi. Yeah. But when you have a Ghanaian at the helm of affairs of a large-scale mining company, he's okay if the Bank of Ghana and the Goldbod say, sell your gold to us, we'll pay Ghana cedis. We are not paying dollars for this. We are paying cedis, and the gold will stay here. And then we can sell the gold for dollars, or we can keep the gold in our reserves. And generations after generations will come and benefit from that. The fact that we are getting 110 kilogram of gold from Damai Gold Mine. And this is just the first output. Many more will come. But that is not the real excitement, you know. The real excitement is this. Even with the small portion that we've been getting from large-scale mining companies since 2022, many people don't know. But that gold is not given to the Bank of Ghana or the PMMC, now Goldbod, in Ghana. That gold is sent outside the country, refined in refineries outside the country, and then sold to Ghana in a form of bullion, refined gold. So we don't get to refine the gold in our own country to retain that value. The refining fees here, the refining charges end up in multinational banks outside Ghana. Now, the reason why this is a game changer, that this gold has come in a form of Dory, raw gold. We will assay it here. We can and will refine it in Ghana. So the refining charges will stay here. If we buy it, the silver is ours. It will stay here. We will decide what to do with the silver. And this will not only lead to reserve accumulation, but also create jobs and many other opportunities for Ghanaians. And so this is why we think the media must begin a conversation about the contribution of large-scale mining companies to reserve accumulation and local value retention. It is about time we had that conversation and got a commitment from large-scale mining companies to do more than they have done over the years. 10% is definitely not enough. If they can't beat this, if they can't match this 100%, at least 30, 40, 50% will give us the kind of returns we need as a country. Thank you very much for coming.
Mr. Ibrahim Mahama, CEO of Damai Gold Mine and CEO of Engineers and Planners. Yes, say Engineers and Planners. You see, I'm going to take over Damai Gold Mine. Damai Gold Mine, abe a baby of engineers and planners. Engineers and planners and the mother company. But it shouldn't be the only one. And yes, it be our first time in Tineno. Yes, I'm going to say camouflage. Monkoswa enfamra. Yes, mutua montoma Goldbod. Mamunkotoma any foreign company bia and a private entity bia. Montoma Goldbod. Na Ghana ya refining senya some faso. Aha, issues 233. No like it. No share. Na in fact was subscribe to the channel so edia my comment no ho ehia e pa. Yada sipi.
Nananom. I want to tell him something, but I'm keeping myself. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity for working here for 30 years. I just didn't spring up from Ghana and started working here. When I started working here, a lot of people were in school, some were students, and today they are heading the commission and they are regulating us somewhere. Somewhere, and some of the people I work with today, like him. I came here in 97, 98, started, he was working for AMS, and I came to rent a machine on the reclaim. And they were desperate for dozers then, so they moved my dozer into the hard rock. In 2 months when I came, they had destroyed my dozer. But unfortunately, when I came here, I didn't have a place to stay. I used to stay in a place called Peace Hotel. That was in the beginning. But one day I went there and I didn't get a room. So I ended up in his living room, and he gave me a couch to sleep, and I slept. So I couldn't go at him. From there, I got taken to Takwa where I met Sid, Eskin, Majid. So everybody today in EMP have come out of AMS and other companies that I work with. But the brief story is to say it hasn't been an easy journey. And what I'm doing today, or the transfer of mine to EMP, is for everybody. It's not for me. In the past, I used to come in here, stand at that gate, looking to go in there to get some work to do. Tony Obion was there with Dave Ingle, and if most people remember Dave Ingle, Mike Izan, and so many the other people from Ranger. But after 30 years, I asked myself that, look, can we just still be contractors? We can't do that. After 30 years, I just said to myself that, listen, and Goldfields offered this mine to me. Point of correction. I didn't just spring up to say I want to own that mine. Goldfields said in 2022, we're going to close the mine and we want you to take over, but we'll sell it to you. And I said, you can't sell it to me because you've cheated me all these years. So you have to give it to me. So we agreed. They told me to go to government and get a no objection letter. I went in there. And I must thank our former president, Nanado. He gave me a document to sit with Goldfields and negotiate and keep the mine going. When I did that, unfortunately for me or for EMP, I got called by the CEO of Goldfields and said, look, we have a challenge here working here. How are you going to do it? I said, oh, leave that to me. He says, no, he wants to know because they want to hold our hands. So, me being too known, I went and opened my mouth and showed him how he would do it. Then he later also said, they'll change their mind. I said, no, you can't change your mind. You told all of us you were going, so please go and leave us to do. Fortunately, government came in there and said, look, they'll hand it over. So we engaged government to let them know that mining is not just buying equipment and working in there. It is the key people that you need to put together. So I said, look, if I don't do it today, there's no Ghanaian in this country who can run a mine as hard as that mine, because that mine's rock is the hardest rock in, would I say, Africa. So even when you bring machines and you have a life of the machine to say you get 10,000, you never get 10,000 hours, you get less hours. So I engaged government and told them that, look, we'll have to do a big cut, which Goldfields would have spent about $1.4 billion to do it. But we know how to do it because we have all the other satellite pits to be able to feed in to do. So we did a bankable study, we looked at it and noticed that we could do it. We approached a few of the banks. In here, the bankers are here. One has given us 650 million, another 600. They are competing against themselves, but before they won't follow us. But thank you for coming. I would say that, look, if we all put our minds together, this is a success story. And the plan I have for Damai is not a joke. I just want to prove that we can invest in ourselves in this country. I want to pledge, I want to say it for everybody to hear. I got a text from one of our young men in here. It says we should build astroturfs for all the communities, which we're looking to do. We've applied for Damai to have an airport. And Damai, within 6 months, will have an airport such that we can fly to Accra easily from here. You should have said all that I'm saying. I won't pay you this month. In the next 2 years, we'll be able to drive from here to Cape Coast on a concrete road or an asphalt road. I beg you, this is not political talk, this is real talk. We're looking to put hospitals. I saw the youth. Is the youth here? The Damai youth, where are they? My youth. Thank you. You talked about the hospital. I'm looking to put 2 big hospitals in Damai. Not Damai alone. Is it Damai and Ateku? Or we will put it together. And Aboso.